Good day, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Fabi, and welcome to Arrows DIY. On my channel, I like to do Dollar Tree DIYs, high-end dupes, thrift flips, and the occasional trash to treasure. Today I have a tablescape to share with you for Thanksgiving, a Thanksgiving tablescape inspired by MacKenzie Childs. These DIYs are super easy to make and super fun, and I'm going to show you the DIYs first and then the tablescape in its entirety at the end. So I hope you stick around and enjoy. Now let's get started. For DIY number 1, we're going to make a table runner. So I took all the ribbons I have on hand from the Dollar Tree, as well as this straw hat, and I took apart the straw hat. Once I took off this black straw hat piece here, I'm just going to hot glue it to both sides of this ribbon to create a border. So I used hot glue, Gorilla Hot Glue if you're new around here, and I just did this for 3 of these wide burlap ribbon strips. Now the length of your strips depends on the length of your table runner. My table is about 34 inches in diameter, so I made mine about 24 inches. I'm going to add leaves at the end, and each end is going to be 5 inches in length. So now I'm going to take these strips and lay them out horizontally and space them out equally. And then I'm going to take more of this black strip from the hat and I'm going to attach them like so, making a geometric pattern. I'm also using the placemat to help me with the spacing. Now since I'm using hot glue, it does kind of stick to this placemat, but I'm using this to my advantage so that these strips stay in place as I attach the ribbon. So now I'm going to go ahead with this other ribbon. All of my ribbons are from the Dollar Tree. I'm going to take this other ribbon and I'm going to hot glue that like so, just to make kind of like a plaid pattern for my table runner. I put 3 ribbons on each side, and now I'm going to add another ribbon across the middle of this lace. Now I was going to use this one, and I also got this one at the Dollar Tree, and I painted it in black. However, I changed my mind and I decided to use this as well instead. I used these ribbons because they had a gold trim on the end, and I thought that would help with my glam chic look today. So I'm just going to add this plain kind of burlap in color ribbon, and I'm going to run that along the bottom, and then I'm going to weave this leaf design ribbon through the center part on both sides. I'm sure you can see what I'm doing here. It's kind of hard to explain this part. Now when you're adding hot glue, you don't want to add too much hot glue because then it'll get sloppy, it'll go through the ribbon. So just put a dab of hot glue and it should be enough. Now for some reason I felt like I needed more detail on the ends of the leaves just to help it match the rest of the table runner. So I took more pieces of this straw hat and I just cut kind of like a 45-degree angle edge just to give it a finished look for the tip of the leaf. If you want, you can go ahead and do this for the whole outside of the maple leaf, but I was happy with just the top portion of that leaf. I cut off any excess string and I was happy with that. I went ahead and I did that for the burgundy leaf as well as the burlap, natural color leaf. Now I did that for all of these leaves. And now I'm just going to adhere them like so. This is part of the Room by Room challenge hosted by Freckled Mom DIY, and it's co-hosted by Lovely Moments Created. I'll leave their links to their channels in the description box below, as well as the playlist link for all the other creators that are participating in this challenge today. I'll leave that link in my comment box as well. So please check them out when you get a chance. So once that was all adhered, this is what it looked like on my table, and I'm so happy with it. Please leave me a comment in the box below. Let me know what you think about this table runner. Now these are the next DIYs I'm going to do. It's 4 in total, and it's super quick. Actually, there's one more, but it's a surprise. So for DIY number 2, I took this pumpkin I got at the Dollar Tree. They name it Decor, and I'm going to use these 3 colors for all of them. Cottage white, this shiny black color, and also this gold color called pure gold. So I'm going to go ahead and give this pumpkin a good coat of white paint. Now I'm not going to show you my whole painting process, but if I do show you painting process, it's because I feel like it's important. Once the entire pumpkin is painted in white, we're going to take this wide popsicle stick and we're going to line it up to the little ridge in between the ribs of the pumpkin. This is going to help us draw a line in the center of that rib. Now, when you use this popsicle stick, you do not want to rock it back and forth as you are penciling the line. Well, drawing the line in English, if we're speaking English. When we're drawing this line, we don't want to move the popsicle stick back and forth. You want to keep it nice and in one spot. Because I messed up and I had to fix it later. Now we're going to take a ruler and we're going to measure 1 inch from that center part where we took the stem out. And we're going to do this all around the pumpkin at the center of each rib. Once we have all these little lines attached, we're going to use the same wide popsicle stick and we're going to turn it horizontal. Starting at that little notch, that little dash we made at the top, we're going to make stripes going down the side of the rib. And we're going to skip one rib and we're going to go to the next one, continuing the same pattern of drawing stripes. Once all these stripes patterns are made, we're going to take the paintbrush. Now I use this paintbrush because it is very helpful when you're trying to draw a checkerboard. I believe it's called a flat paintbrush, flat edge, something like that. I can't remember right now, it's very late. So I'm going to take this and I'm just going to paint a checkerboard pattern in every other rib of this pumpkin. Once we have the white done, we're going to use the same paintbrush, a clean paintbrush of course, and we're going to do the same thing in the black color. So you want to take your time doing this. I promise you it's very relaxing. And we're just going to fill in every other spot, creating that McKenzie Childs checkerboard pattern. I'm going to show you very soon the inspiration piece and what I'm trying to replicate. I'm not trying to make an exact copy of the McKenzie Childs piece, but I do end up liking the result. So we're going to go ahead and just do this all around the pumpkin. I'm not going to show you the whole process. It's very repetitive. Just remember to skip one rib when you go to the next section of the pumpkin called a rib. So this is the inspiration piece I was talking about, and we're not going to make that zebra pattern. We're just going to paint those sections all black to make it simple on us. And it looks just as good. Okay, maybe not just as good, but it's definitely possible for us to do. Now, I go over the same spots many times, so I'm not trying to get perfection the first time through. We just want to paint the sections black, and then we'll go through again and fix any imperfections. And we don't want it completely perfect, because MacKenzie Childs pieces are not completely perfect. So as you can see, it's fully painted, and I painted it in black. And now I'm going to take these pieces that come in the pine cone pack from the Dollar Tree. I'm just going to take the gold pieces out of there, and I'm going to hot glue them at the top to kind of resemble flowers at the top of this pumpkin. And I think it helps us with this glam look. Now, I can't say I'm very glam, but gold and crystal is usually as glam as I get. So you want to add a good amount of hot glue, stick them down, and this is what it looks like. Let me know what you think. I think this DIY is very true to the MacKenzie Childs look and very simple to replicate. For DIY number 2, we're going to take this gourd. We're going to pop off the tag. I recommend cutting it because I totally made a little hole in mine. And I'm going to pop off the stem as well. We're going to give this gourd one good coat of white paint. And once it's dry, we're going to paint it in this orange color we're about to mix. I use vivid orange as well as cottage white in equal parts. And we mix it up real well. Then we're going to give it one good coat, and I'm not going to bore you with the details of painting our gourd. So I always put the stem back in because I don't want to lose it, and I have children who love touching my projects while they're drawing, so I always put the stem back in, but you want to pop it out so that you can give it a good coat. Once it's all dry, I took some of these thumbtacks and I painted them in black. It took about 3 coats. And I'm going to make a design here inspired by MacKenzie Childs. It wasn't a gourd, but it was a pumpkin, but I think we have enough pumpkins, so I tried to change it up a bit with this gourd, and I like how it came out. So now we're just going to use the black thumbtacks, and we're going to make kind of like a diagonal line going across the gourd because it's a funny shape. And now we're going to take the gold thumbtacks, and we're going to space them out about an inch away from the black thumbtacks, and we're going to position them in between the black thumbtacks about an inch over. And we're going to continue this pattern all the way around the gourd. Now, when you get to the end, it does get kind of tricky, but just put the thumbtacks wherever you want. And this is how it came out. Oh yeah, I painted the stem in gold as well so that it would match. Let me know what you think about this DIY in the comments down below. I think it's super fun. Now these are the rest of the pumpkins we're going to make. And for DIY number 3, we're going to take this little candle, like a lantern pumpkin from the Dollar Tree as well. I'm going to give it a coat of Mod Podge because it is ceramic. And for some reason the paint did not want to stick without Mod Podge. Ask me how I know. So now we're going to take this color, this black color and this white color, and we're just going to paint stripes on all the ribs on this pumpkin. I love this black color because it has a little bit of a sheen to it. It's kind of like a very, very fine glitter. It's not that noticeable, but it's very beautiful. And I do give it a couple coats of paint. I should have gave it one more coat of paint, but it's going to be fine. I only gave it 2 coats. It should have had 3. Now I'm going to paint this leaf that we took off, and I'm going to paint it in that same pure gold color. I paint the front and the back because I wasn't sure what was going to be showing. But once it's all dry, I'm going to take some of this hydrangea. It's a blue hydrangea from the Dollar Tree, and I cut off the petals on it. And I'm going to hot glue it about an inch from the stem at the top. Now, we're going to create this pattern with the petals. So we're just going to go around hot gluing these petals side by side, not overlapping them just yet. And we're just going to do this all around the top part of the pumpkin. I want to be sure not to cover that beautiful detail in the front. Once we went around one time, we're going to go ahead, and this time we're going to add the leaves right in the center, in between the first 2 petals we put on, all the way around until we only have the top of the stem showing. You could paint the top of your pumpkin gold, but I just left it in the original orange color because I thought that was fun and I didn't mind it. But you go ahead and paint yours gold if that's what you fancy. We're going to put that top leaf back on there and call it a day. Let me know what you think about this DIY in the comments below. It definitely needs another coat of paint. Now for this next DIY, I took these little turkeys. These are not from a Dollar Tree. These are from a dollar store around my house, and I got them for $1.99 each. Now, I didn't like the color so much, but I did like the fact that I had leaves and pumpkins as the body of the turkey. I found it so fun. So now I'm going to use this terracotta paint from Fulgart in the color Pueblo. And I love this color. And I love the texture of this terracotta paint. So I'm so glad I got it. I got it on Amazon for $3.99. And then I just used the same black color and the gold color to paint the beak and the wattle on the turkey. I also put a black and white pattern on the back leaves, the tail feathers of this turkey, and I think they're super fun. Now for this last DIY, I'm going to paint this pumpkin. And since it's ceramic, I got this at the Dollar Tree. Since it's ceramic, we're going to Mod Podge it. Once it's fully dry, we're going to paint it in the same white color like we did all the other ones. Now this is the trickiest of all of the patterns, the MacKenzie Childs designs we did today. But it's not impossible, because if I can do it, you can definitely do it as well. I'm just going to take each rib on the pumpkin, and I'm going to draw an imaginary line on it, starting at the top. We're going to paint little cubes at the top of the pumpkin. And we're basically going to make each rib on the pumpkin hold 3 cubes. If that makes any sense. We're going to make a checkerboard pattern of 3 squares per rib. So we're going to go around the top, and we're just going to paint the top cubes all the way around the top. once we have all the cubes made at the top of the pumpkin, we're going to make the bottom ones all around the bottom part of the pumpkin. Now you want to be careful when you're holding your pumpkin. Be careful where you're placing your fingers so that you don't mess up your paint job. And you don't have to be so fussy about perfection here, because you're gonna go over the same areas many times, and you'll have plenty of opportunity to fix any things you don't like. But this is how it looks after my first go around the white paint. Now I'm going to go in with the black paint, and I'm just going to focus on making the top line of each square. So I'm not going to try to make every single square perfect right now. I'm just going to focus on one. Basically just pick a side and focus on that one side, not finishing the square. So I'm going to go around and fill in all of the black areas, and this is what it's looking like. Not perfect at all, and I'm totally fine with that, because like I said, we're going to go back in and give many coats of this thing. Now when you are trying to fill in the other sides, you want to turn your paintbrush and turn your pumpkin to the side, and make sure that the flat end of the paintbrush is on the side you want to make a straight line. I really hope I'm making sense. So we're just going to do that all around this pumpkin. And you know, if this stresses you out, then you could just not do this particular pumpkin and you'll be totally fine. I have a whole bunch of other techniques that I've shared with you guys in other videos. I can link the video here, where I've used wax paper to coat different projects to give the same McKenzie Childs look. So sometimes it's good to step away from the project and just go do something else, and then come back to the project when you've, gained interest in it again, because it can get stressful if you're not very laid back. Now, I would recommend letting your separate colors dry in between, because if you make a mistake, you can wipe it off if the other paint is dry. Now, that section there that you see that's not checkered is a leaf detail. I thought I was going to paint the leaf in, but I ended up changing my mind, and I ended up only painting the stem gold. Now I'm going to do the same thing and take this hydrangea. I'm going to take the leaf first and cover all the area of the pumpkin that has that leaf detail. I'm going to take the leaf of the hydrangea and just hot glue it and lay that as flat as possible. I did have to cut a little slit on the side of the leaf to lay it flat with hot glue. I also took another leaf and I cut it in half to finish covering that leaf detail. Then I took the hydrangea and I separated the petals by color, and I really like that ombre effect it had with the green tips. It kind of reminded me of this inspiration piece. So I just took them and I started from the bottom and I started hot gluing them so that it would cascade one on top of the other. And I was super happy with how that came out. On the top petal, I did cut off the top part so that it would have a nice clean finish at the top. And that's how it turned out. I'm super happy with how all these projects turned out. I think they look Chic, kind of Glam, and they totally made my tablescape a lot of fun. So I had a lot of fun making these, and I hope you guys give it a try. So now I'm just going to show you how I use them in my tablescape. Most of these items are thrifted. Actually, no, most of these items are from the Dollar Tree, and only the candlesticks, the candle holders are thrifted. Everything else is from the Dollar Tree. The plates, the charger, the florals. Oh, right, those are from the dollar store. The napkin is from Dollar Tree, as well as that little platter that's a leaf. The little place card holder is just a pumpkin, a foam pumpkin cut in half. But yeah, I had a lot of fun making this, and it looks even better by candlelight. So this is how it looks from the top. And I'm really happy that I participated in this challenge. Thank you so much to Devin and to Jenny from Freckled Mom and Lovely Moments Creating. Please check out their channels when you have a chance. And would you consider this glam? Chic? Did I fill the brief? I struggled. I thought of glam. I said, uh-oh, I am not very glam. I mean, on the holidays, I kind of am a little glam because I like glitter and shiny, you know, and Christmas and snowflakes and stars. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much. And if you did, please hit that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit that bell. And if you hit the notifications, click all notifications so you don't miss a video. Thank you so much for watching, friends. Until next time, take care. God bless. See you on the next one. Bye.